What's going on, guys? It's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing you guys another video, and we have more news. I promise a scripted video is this week. We have some significant information coming out about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise. Now, I know everybody has their focus and eyes set on the video games right now because we haven't received that in a while, and there's just a lot of talk about it because of all the false information that's going around right now. So I wanted to talk about some potentially false information about the Sonic movies. That sarcasms could be real, but there's always the chance that it could just be flat out fake. Now by the title you're like, oh boy, Ricardo, what are you going to talk about? Well, without any further ado, let's talk about what I'm going to talk about. There's this film insider who you guys might know, you might have seen him around on Twitter if you follow other franchises and other movies, named Daniel Richtman. He reports some stuff and he has sources, and he has a Patreon where he reveals some of this information. Now, this is not like some Sonic fan. This is not just a random dude who wants to leak something out. This is not an anonymous person. This is somebody who has a reputation and somebody who talks about things that are not just Sonic. And he said that in addition to the sequel that's coming out next year, Paramount is working on 2 other Sonic the Hedgehog movies, meaning that there would be 4 Sonic the Hedgehog movies in the series. This is pretty interesting and amazing information. Of course, this is not coming from Variety or Deadline. This is coming from a source, an insider. This is not being confirmed or brought out by Paramount themselves saying, yeah, we're going to be making 2 other movies. That's not what's happening. According to him and his sources, they are currently working on 2 other films in addition to the sequel. Now, what does this mean? How could this happen? Well, we're gonna break it down right here. Thankfully, I'm a film buff, a cinephile. I love movies. I watch movies every single day. So I can tell you that it doesn't matter if they want to, it matters how much money the movie makes in order for a sequel to get made. The first Sonic the Hedgehog movie got kind of lucky. The tail end of it, when it was going to make its run in China and Japan, the you-know-what happened, which halted its release. And China is the second biggest movie market in the world behind the United States. They lost out on a bunch of money, and I think Paramount figured, you know what, this probably would have made more if it had the opportunities to do well in other foreign markets, thus getting us the sequel. And the sequel will really determine where this series goes. It needs to make money in order to move forward. Your movie can be horrible and it makes a bunch of money, there will probably be a sequel so they can make more money. If it's amazingly reviewed and it gets a horrible box office return, it's probably not going to get more sequels. Even if they're planned, even if they're wanted. Money runs the world, obviously. The first film was a little over $100 million, which is kind of standard for Hollywood blockbusters, but it actually would have been under that if they didn't have the redesign. I believe it was around $25 million if I'm not mistaken. The redesign was around $5 million to make, which is significant money. Not like huge in the grand scheme of like Hollywood. Believe that the budget was anywhere between $81 million to $95 million. In the film making over $300 million, it obviously made its money back, thankfully. You need to double your production budget in order to get any kind of return. You can't be in the red. If it doesn't make money, if it loses the studio money, they're not going to go forward with more films. Sonic was still able to do that. It was still able to turn a profit, but I don't think it made a giant profit like it could have if this whole pandemic situation didn't happen. It could have easily gone over like 400 million instead of like the 316 million I believe it's at right now. That's how the sequel got made, and that's how a third movie will get made. This movie needs to do good. There's some good news coming out about vaccines and this whole situation we're in right now. Nothing is obviously immediate, but by the middle or end of the year, we'll have some sense of normalcy and people will be able to go to movie theaters again and feel safe. And especially by April of 2022, when this movie's due out, life will be pretty much back to normal, but you know, we'll always have like this in the back of our heads. This will never go away, but we won't, you know, die from it. So by the time this movie comes out, it shouldn't have a pandemic affecting it, and hopefully like bigger movies will be able to get movie theaters back in the running and back going again. Films like Spider-Man 3, Eternals, Dune, movies like those that are only going to be in theaters should bring people to seats and might get people back into the movie going mindset again. By this, I do believe that Paramount has at least like 2 other movies planned and they want to make, but whether it will happen or not is not guaranteed. They can develop stories and treatments for these next movies, but they need to be able to make a profit, a return. If they don't do that, there won't be more movies. So They need to keep the Sonic brand alive. Sega needs to do that. They need to continue producing quality at a consistent rate. The show needs to be good on Netflix, the new games need to be good. The last thing we need is another Forces. I'm not here to talk about the games right now. That's a video that's actually coming later this week. But they need to keep the brand consistent and full of quality. The movie was able to do that, and it's been producing some smaller mobile titles and tie-ins to other things to keep Sonic's name out there in some form. This year is going to be huge, a big determining factor in how the sequel will actually do in terms of Sonic's name recognition. We should be getting some news about it either this month or next month in relation to casting, since they plan on filming in March? So before they even film this, there's still stuff that they need to get in order. We don't know if the cast is even coming back. We'll have to wait and see. So my camera died, I apologize about that. There's so much stuff they could do with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, like, follow-up. This franchise as a whole and all of the media it's done, from games to comics to TV shows, it already has like an extensive back catalog of so many different kinds of stories and characters and arcs. I don't want them to follow any arcs that have been done already because I want it to be its own thing, but I'd like to see what they could take from that and do their own thing with it. Obviously, I think every Sonic fan wants this entire movie series to continue. It would do so many amazing things for Sonic. Having a movie series is like the perfect thing for any franchise, like a Hollywood one. Not like straight to DVD or straight to TV. Hollywood blockbuster movie series is huge. And any fan that doesn't want it or just wants games is being a bit delusional. I, of course, want this to continue, but it does all rely on money. It relies on how much money this series can make. So that is it. What do you think about Paramount reportedly developing 2 other Sonic the Hedgehog movies in addition to the sequel? Would you like to see a Sonic movie 3 and 4? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to follow me on social media, the links are in the description below for my Twitter and Instagram. And of course, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We have amazing content here every single week. This is going to be a huge year for Sonic, so you're not going to want to miss out on anything, as we're always the first people to get to every story and original topics and discussions. We have a lot of plans for movies, shows, games, and merchandise, so you're not going to want to miss a thing. Subscribe. We'd love to have you join our family. Thank you all so much for watching once again. I love all of you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Wah!